As promised, we're joined right now by a running back for San Diego State. 135 yards and a couple of touchdowns in Friday's win over San Jose State. He leads the nation in rushing with 1,246 yards this season. He is 8th in NCAA history with over 5,500 rushing yards. He is 11th in career rushing touchdowns. The Aztecs are 6-1 overall. They're 3-0 in Mountain West Conference play, and they're at Utah State Friday night. Running back Donnell Pumphrey is my guest. Donnell, nice to have you on. How are you?
Hey, Jim. I'm pretty good. How about yourself?
My man, I'm great. Those were some big numbers I ran down. And as I mentioned off the top, Donnell, 135 yards, a couple of touchdowns. That means you break Marshall Faulk's school record for career rushing TDs and career TDs. I know you're going to tell me the win is the thing, but you just ripped 2 hallowed records from an NFL Hall of Famer. What's that mean to you?
I mean, I feel pretty good about it, but I didn't even know I was up for that record or even close to that record, to be honest. But just to know that my name is up there surpassing Marshall Faulk, I mean, it's a great feeling. And, I mean, anything for the team I'm all for. And like you said, the win is the most important thing, and that's what I'm really aiming for. And with all the statistics happening with the wins, that's really all that matters.
Hey, listen, I knew you'd say it. That's why I qualified it like that. But still, these are some amazing numbers. And when you go back to where you started, it's even more impressive. You're a Heisman Trophy candidate right now. But if you want to put this in perspective, when you went to Canyon Springs High in North Las Vegas, the story goes that when you first showed up, you weighed 128 pounds, and the head coach, Hunky Cooper, said he had to order extra small pants. Is that actually true? And if that is true, what were you like as a player when you first started in high school?
Well, I don't know if I was 128 pounds, but he definitely did have to buy me some small pants when I was first coming in as a freshman. But, I mean, coming in as a high school player and freshman, with Coach Coop as your coach, you just want to outwork everybody and just outperform everybody, and that's what I came into high school. And I've had that same mentality since about 7 years old because I have older cousins who played football and older family members as well that played. So, I mean, that's just always been my mentality, just to be the best player.
Donnell Pumphrey joining us, San Diego State running back. Hey, look, a lot of coaches who, if they have to order some extra small pants, might think that's not going to be my running back, except he saw something in you. What do you think that he saw in you, and then what did it mean to you to have a coach who believed in you the way he did?
Well, I mean, he saw it all in me as a freshman and just in Pop Warner growing up because, I mean, my freshman year, we had about 8 different other running backs, and I was still able to surpass like 50 touchdowns that year and like 3,000 or 4,000 yards rushing that year. So, I mean, when he moved me up to varsity, he didn't think I was going to be the running back at first because we had a big senior running back at the time named Malik Brown, and he's about 6 foot. He's a prototypical type running back, and basically he had me as slot at first, and him and my dad had a discussion after that, and ever since he tried me out at running back, and I took advantage of that opportunity.
So what did Pops tell him? I would have loved to have been there for that conversation. What did he tell him?
Oh, he definitely told him that running back is a position within our family, and I'm sure there were other words that were said between that conversation, but ever since, Coach Coop, I mean, I knew Coach Coop always believed in me, but based off the situation, there was another senior running back who he was trying to make effort into getting to college as well, and it wasn't just me, and I was still young at the time. So, I mean, he had a couple years left with me, and I'm sure that's all he was trying to do.
All right, so you grow into this thing, and you're on your grind, and you're putting up huge numbers, and you were the Gatorade Player of the Year your senior year. So you should be getting a lot of attention at that point. Was that the case? Were there colleges knocking on your door, or were there still some concern about your size?
Well, there were a lot of colleges coming towards me until they would come to our actual school and size me up, and they'd see my actual size. And because, I mean, rivals, they could always say you're bigger than you actually are. So, I mean, once college coaches actually started to see me, they started to back off a little bit, and they were looking at me more as a DB. And Coach Coop talked to Coach Horton because I was his college coach growing up or whatever. And Coach Horton, he believed in me from day one, and he knew he's seen what I can do as a running back, and ever since, I just fell in love with the program at San Diego State, and I committed since day one.
Donnell Pumphrey joining us. They were the first school to offer you, so it was a good fit. And now look where you are. You're a Heisman Trophy candidate, but when you started at San Diego State, I mean, obviously, you had to have a belief in yourself from day one, and if others didn't, you did, and you always made it work. But when you show up on that campus and you get the opportunity, you think to yourself, one day I'm going to be a Heisman Trophy candidate. I'm going to break all these records. Just give me the rock. If I get the opportunity, I know I'll be that guy. Did you know that?
I definitely didn't know that I'd be in the same situation I am right now. I just came in and was ready to work, and based off of the opportunities that were given to me, I just tried to take advantage, and I try to stay in the film room and just look at guys who were in front of me, like Adam Muema and Ronnie Hillman. Like those were great backs here at San Diego State, and just watching them, you're able to learn pretty fast. And going against a defense like ours, it helps you a lot because we had a top 5 defense last year, and just going against them every day and competing, it makes me a better back every day.
All right, well, one thing, though, watching you, and one of the things that strikes me about your game is you're not just somebody who's looking to get to the outside. You run really strong between the tackles. You yourself have said, quote, if you play this game of football, you have to be a dog. What do you mean by that, and where does that attitude come from?
What I mean by being a dog is you can't really be soft playing this football game. I'm sure you've seen the targeting and hit this past week against San Jose.
Sure.
That's what football is. Like that's what we have pads on for, and not to take that away from number 23, it was a great hit, and I feel like he should have stayed in the game. But because of the rules changed, everything's going to be different, and that's really what I felt when I said about being a dog. You have to be tough and not really soft.
Donnell Pumphrey, San Diego State running back, my guest for a few more moments. One of the things you said is that before games you watch tape of Christian McCaffrey, Leonard Fournette. They've got very different styles. So what do you look for when you watch them, and what's your takeaway from those clips?
Well, I really just try to see the different style of run that they have, and I try to kind of input that into my game because I see that Leonard Fournette, he's very difficult to tackle, and I see that he's also able to catch the ball at the backfield, and I try to put that in my game. Like, I'm not always going to juke somebody. And defenses, they feel like I try to make guys miss a lot, and that's when I could drop down my shoulder and try to run guys over. And with McCaffrey, he's just a playmaker, and I just try to do the same thing he does and catching the ball at the backfield and just scoring touchdowns and stuff like that. And it's really neat to watch those type of players and have my name up there with them.
Your name's up there with them, but I'd go even further. And it seems to me you still take this all in stride, but it's one thing to have your name up there with McCaffrey and Fournette, but earlier this month in one game, you passed Herschel Walker, Archie Griffin, and LaDainian Tomlinson on the career rushing list. These are true legends of the game. What's it like then to hear your name mentioned alongside theirs?
Oh, it feels really good to have my name mentioned with theirs. Those are all great, just like you said it. But LaDainian Tomlinson specifically, that's been my favorite running back since day one. I grew up watching him as a San Diego native kid, and that's the reason why I'm a San Diego Charger fan now, because LaDainian Tomlinson. It's just fun watching those guys play, and just to have my name up there with those is incredible. And I just really thank all my teammates and everybody surrounding me who's guided me through the position I am here today.
Donnell, I know it's about team, but what would it mean to you to get an invite to New York as a Heisman Trophy finalist?
That actually mean a lot to me, just to be able to be one of those top 4 guys in college football, and it'd be great just for the program and the recognition itself, and that'd be very special for me and my mom as well.
So
I've always dreamed of something like that.
No, you bet. And I would imagine along the way, so many people make sacrifices to help you be where you are right now. And I know your focus is on the next thing. It's on Utah State coming up this weekend. But you're breaking all these records in college. And then there's an AFC scout telling Bleacher Report, quote, he's a terrific college talent, but I don't know where you play him in this league. He's 5'9", he's 20 pounds shy of 200. He's not going to play running back. He can't take the pounding. So where do you play him? Receiver? I just don't see it. End of quote. You've been doubted before. There's some more right there. What's your reaction when you hear that? And how do you think you project on the next level?
Well, I've been doubted my whole life with my size, and I've been this size my whole life. So, that's just another ingredient added to the motivation that's continuing to push me. But, at the next level, anywhere the coaches want to put me, I'm dedicated to playing. Whether it's slot, catching punts or kick returns, or running back, I'm down to play. My dream at the end of the day is to play in the NFL with the best of the best, and that opportunity, I feel like it's coming ahead of me, and and I'm ready.
Well, right now, statistically, you're the best of the best with who you're playing with right now. You lead the nation in rushing, 8th overall with over 5,500 yards rushing. And as I mentioned, just set 2 huge records with San Diego State. Donnell Pumphrey, my guest. Donnell, nice job. Great to have you on, and I'll look forward to watching that. It's always good to have you. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
That was fun. Well done. You know, I wasn't looking to bang away about his size. It's just an amazing thing what he's overcome. I mean, when he gets to high school and maybe weighs 128, and then 4 years later is a player of the year, and then goes to college and is now a Heisman Trophy candidate. He leads the nation in rushing. Just took down 2 records that belonged to Marshall Faulk at San Diego State. And as I mentioned, in one game, passed the likes of Archie Griffin, LaDainian Tomlinson, Herschel Walker. I mean, we're talking about he's right alongside the best of the best. And when he got to high school, weighed maybe 128, and the coach said I had to find some extra small pants. It's an incredible story.